What's going on, everyone? So the Memphis Grizzlies are working on a potential trade for Dorian Finney-Smith. We got reports yesterday, but at least at the time of recording and uploading this video, the deal has not been done yet. Obviously, could happen at any moment while you're watching this video. It may have already gotten done. I think, first off, that's a huge pickup for the Memphis Grizzlies if they actually get that done. Remember, nothing is finalized, nothing is done until it's done. We've seen, news reports of deal being finalized and ends up falling through. So until we actually get hey, this guy's been traded, we'll see how it goes. However, this is kind of the highlights and issue that I've talked about recently and why I've kind of changed my opinion on where the Lakers should go trade-wise, right? Obviously, we need a point guard, 3-and-D wing, and at least backup center. Problem is, the wing market is incredibly thin, and all these guys are going to end up getting overpaid for, right? Based on the reports on we'll see what actually the final result is, but supposedly it's going to be Kennard and Conchar along with a first-round pick, a future first, for Dorian Finney-Smith. That's an overpay. That is an overpay, right? Couple seconds, sure, right? But to give up that and a first, we'll see. Maybe it's heavily protected or something. Who knows? But on the surface, it's an overpay for Dorian Finney-Smith. Teams have been trying to get a first for Dorian Finney-Smith from Dallas to Brooklyn for years now, and no one's bought. But Memphis needs a legit 3. He makes a ton of sense in that regard, and they're looking at it as we might as well overpay because that's kind of one of the last pieces that they really need. And I've seen people say, well, overpay for Kuz or Cam Johnson or any of these guys. First off, Cam Johnson, even if the Lakers did overpay, they still probably aren't going to be able to get Cam Johnson over a Thunder or a Warriors team. These teams got too many assets, right? And so to me, I think now the Lakers, instead of focusing on trying to get a Cam Johnson or Kuzma or whatever, let all these teams fight over these guys. Let all these teams overpay for those guys and go and pivot towards the other positions of need. Can you go get, a legit two-way guard, right? Even if it is a Malcolm Brogdon or something, but you can get him for cheap. Focus on that. Go get that. Go get that backup center, right? The more that I kind of think about it, a Nikola Vucevic might be the best player that the Lakers could get. Talk about a legit 20-10 guy. My only problem with him is that would make LeBron have to play the 3 full time, and I'm not a fan of the idea. Right? Now, you could mask it in certain ways, right? You could have LeBron on defense be on the weak side and then have AD be on the strong side, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of Anthony Davis being able to mask Nikola Vucevic's defensive liabilities, right? So, I don't know, is it something that you just do, just instead of trying to go and get, overpaying for a Dorian Finney-Smith or something crazy like that, just take a couple seconds, go get a Nikola Vucevic, kind of wait out, see what happens with the Bruce Brown, right? Can he come back and look like his normal self, and then maybe go make a play for him? Now you got Bruce Brown, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Nikola Vucevic, and that's your starting 5. And you still have all these other, you still have Max Christie, Dalton Connect, right? Christian Wood. You can, at that point, stagger LeBron and Nikola, right? And then have a Jackson Hayes or whatever as your third big, right? And then, go get Dennis Smith Jr. or Markelle Fultz or something like that. Maybe try to see if you can snag a Cody Martin, right? 6'6", 6'7", kind of versatile forward, 3-and-D guy. Not really kind of the sexy name. Or maybe go get a Torrey Craig, right? Go kind of get these lower tier 3-and-D guys. Just go get somebody that can kind of come in and play. Sticking with Chicago, they got Chris Dort, right? Davion Carter, he could be nice slotted in at the backup guard role, right? I think that may be the best course of action at this point for the Lakers. Again, I've talked about it before. All these other teams, they're all focused on the shiny toy. Right? They all want the shiny guy, Cam Johnson, Kyle Kuzma, all these guys. If you're the Lakers, do you just kind of pivot into another direction? Do you just go, okay, fine, let's just go get a higher tier center than we would have otherwise. Go get a legit kind of 3-and-D point of attack guard and really kind of just push your chips in a little more. Right? Like, what are the Lakers' other options at this point? Unless they want to take a flyer on like a Brandon Ingram or a Zach LaVine or kind of one of these more like higher tier guys, or De'Aaron Fox ends up saying, you know what, I want to go to the Lakers. That's it. I'm going to force my way to the Lakers. Unless it's something crazy like that, the options are kind of drying up for the Lakers. At least in particular, the 3 spot. The point guard and center position, there's still several options that make a lot of sense for the Lakers. And so, could you just, unless you could do, and this is why I talked about like the Wizards trade, right? And so many people are like, like the Wizards trade is probably the worst trade. Is it? It might be your only trade, right? Like Malcolm Brogdon, Jonas Valanciunas, and Kyle Kuzma might be your only trade. Like I said, would you rather have no trade or those 3 guys? I would rather have those 3 guys than no trade. I think we'd be better with them. Are we an actual contender? I don't know. It depends on how the pieces fit, right? But, the Lakers still need a trade. Lakers still need to get something done. I know they looked great last night against Sacramento. No LeBron. They've had moments where they've looked great without LeBron. But this team still has blatant holes in it. They gave up 122 points, right? Like, the Lakers still have clear holes, clear needs that need to kind of be filled. And ideally, if you could, in a perfect world, you get a Cam Johnson, a Dorian Finney-Smith, Day'Ron Sharpe, and then still go get like a Bruce Brown or something like that, and now you're winning a championship. I just don't think at this stage it's going to be realistic because all these teams are willing to line up and overpay for Dorian Finney-Smith. You don't think that somebody's going to overpay for a Cam Johnson? Right? Like, you don't think that, okay, once Dorian Finney-Smith is off the board and Cam Johnson's off the board, where do you think these teams are going to pivot next? I mean, Sacramento's already willing to sell the farm to go get Kyle Kuzma because they're trying to hope to maybe salvage and save De'Aaron Fox. So they'll probably overpay for Kyle Kuzma. So he might probably be off the board. Are you really going to overpay for Jeremy Grant and his terrible contract? I don't think you should. I think at this point, given the circumstances, given kind of how things have developed, I think your best course of action might be to just focus on the center position, focus on the guard. You need to get a real point guard. I know Austin Reeves had 16 assists last night and everything like that. Everyone thinks we have, the next Isaiah Thomas, but slow down, right? We've seen him struggle mightily with ball pressure. Sacramento has been terrible in that regard, right? But as soon as they put Keon Ellis on him, he had to start moving the ball out of his hands. Keon Ellis just picked his pocket, like literally bullied up. We saw what happened when he handled the ball against Detroit. You need a real playmaker. You need a real point guard. You need somebody ideally with size. Allow Austin Reeves to be the 2, which when Austin Reeves gets to be in attack mode, he is the best version of himself, right? And now he gets to be kind of the secondary playmaker where he thrives, and he gets to be the 2 guard. When we went to the conference finals and Austin Reeves played better than he ever played, what was he? He was the 2 guard. He was operating because he gets to be in attack mode. He gets to find his shot. He can still make plays in the thick of it, but he doesn't have to try to balance it out. Right now, he doesn't have to be indecisive. Like, okay, do I make a play? Do I go? Like, no, he just goes. You don't think about it. You just go. Right? And you can kind of focus. That's why you see him usually perform better when LeBron is not playing, because now he gets to kind of just go because they need him to be that offensive weapon, that offensive threat. So to me, let him be that, right? Go get a Bruce Brown, a Malcolm Brogdon, somebody like that can slot alongside Austin Reeves, give you that point of attack, give you that defense. I love how Max Christie's been playing. He's been great on both sides of the basketball. But I'd still like kind of that more veteran style guard that can defend multiple positions, particularly come playoff time. And then Max Christie kind of move into that backup role. You can still give him the minutes, still play, still slot him alongside Reeves at times, still slot him, alongside a Malcolm Brogdon or Bruce Brown or something like that, right? Like, I just think that's the approach. Pivot. Let all these other teams stumble on over themselves to go get that 3-and-D win. You pivot and go get that legit center, maybe upgraded center than you would have otherwise, and go get that guard position. Go fill that guard spot. and let's go compete and try to win a championship here. I don't know. I'm leaning more and more towards that idea of like, go get a higher tier center, right? Go get a higher tier guard instead of like mid-tier guard, mid-tier center, and mid-tier wing. Just kind of go get the higher end center and point guard. Unfortunately, the wing market is limited. Unfortunately, everyone's willing to overpay for these guys. Let these teams do that. Let these teams trip all over each other to try to go get these guys. And you just upgrade in the other areas that you need. It's not like we don't need those areas. If we didn't, then fine. You know, like, do what you got to do. We're not a Cam Johnson away from winning a championship. So you just sell the farm to go get Cam Johnson or a Kyle Kuzma or any of these guys, and now you're stuck and that's it. I'd rather just go get the center, go get the point guard, and let's go. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are. I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. As we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.